Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to be here today. My name is Mike Donaghey. I'm a Director of Product Management at TierPoint. The presentation you joined today is Boosting IT Efficiency with AI, how Copilot helps you do more with less. And it's all about how Copilot can make work life easier, more efficient, and less time consuming for you. So we all know that AI is evolving rapidly, and while it's everywhere in today's conversations, the real question becomes, how does it actually help me in a business setting? And that's what we're here today to explore. This session will focus on practical ways that Copilot integrates into Microsoft 365, especially in Teams and Outlook, our two favorite applications, right? How it simplifies workflows, repetitive tasks, how it can improve our productivity. And we're going to look at how Copilot helps manage meetings, how it helps you handle email, and surface important insights so your teams can stay focused on what really matters. So I appreciate you joining and looking forward to diving in. All right, before we dive in, let's talk about what we're covering today and why it matters. First, we'll explore how AI is driving productivity in Microsoft 365 and how it helps businesses save time. Then we'll discuss security, privacy, and compliance. Because for AI to be truly effective in your organization in any business setting, it has to be built on trust. And from there, we'll get into how Copilot works in Teams and Outlook, two of the most essential tools for collaboration, and we'll walk through real-world examples of how it can improve meetings, emails, and day-to-day communication. Finally, we'll talk about how to maximize Microsoft 365 with AI and ensure businesses are getting the most value out of these capabilities. At the end of the day, it's about making AI work for you and your business, helping reduce workload, improve efficiency, and ultimately transforming the way we collaborate. Before we dive in, let's go over our agenda and what we're covering today and why it matters. First, we're going to explore how AI is driving productivity in Microsoft 365 and how it helps businesses save time. Then we'll discuss security, privacy, and compliance. Because for this to work, for AI to be truly effective in a business setting, it has to be built on trust and it has to be secure. From there, we'll get into how Copilot works in Teams and Outlook, two of the most essential tools for collaboration, and we'll walk through real-world examples of how it can improve meetings, emails, and day-to-day communication. Finally, we'll talk about how to maximize Microsoft 365 with AI, ensure your business is getting the most value out of its capabilities. And at the end of the day, this is about making AI work for you and your business. It's about helping reduce busy work, improve your efficiency, and hopefully transform the way that you collaborate. On a practical level, what are we really talking about here? The real value of AI isn't just about automating tasks, it's about saving time, and it's about helping people focus on what really matters. Microsoft Copilot is designed to be an active partner in a workplace. It integrates directly into the tools you already use, which is a big advantage compared to other AI assistants. It's there to help you draft content, summarize information, organize workflows, and it does all of this while staying in the background until you need it. So instead of spending time sorting through all your emails or burning time looking for documents or trying to catch up on meetings that you might have missed, Copilot can streamline those tasks so you can focus on higher value work. So think of it as an assistant that doesn't just answer questions, it actively helps you get things done. Whether it's summarizing a long email thread, providing key takeaways from a meeting, which is my favorite aspect of Copilot today, or generating a first draft of a document, it keeps work moving forward. It creates less friction for you. So AI isn't replacing the way we work, it's enhancing it. The goal is to eliminate the time-consuming, repetitive tasks that slow us down so you can spend more time on decision-making, problem-solving, and collaboration. Before we jump into the features and overview, any conversation about AI in a workplace has to start with trust. You have to have something that's secure and trustworthy. Productivity is important. but none of it matters if the tools we use don't protect sensitive data. That's why Microsoft has built Copilot with security, privacy, and compliance at its core. So first and foremost, your data stays your data. Microsoft does not use your content to train OpenAI's models, and nothing Copilot generates is shared with anyone outside your organization. Everything operates within the same security and compliance framework that businesses have created and already rely on in Microsoft 365. So from a security perspective, Copilot will respect existing permissions and it will respect existing access controls. That means it only pulls information that you already have access to, and it won't expose confidential information to the wrong people or create new security risk. If you wouldn't normally see a document, for example, or you normally wouldn't see an email, Copilot won't surface that. Compliance is another critical factor. Microsoft 365 Copilot follows industry-leading compliance standards. It ensures that businesses meet regulatory requirements without additional complexity. So whether you're in a highly regulated industry or just need to ensure data governance policies are followed, Copilot can enable that, empower it, and it's built to align with existing policies and framework. Before we jump into the features and the advantages of these products, any conversation about AI in the workplace at your business has to start with trust, has to start with security. So productivity is important, but none of it matters if the tools we use don't protect sensitive data. That's why Microsoft has built Copilot with security, privacy, and compliance at its core. So first and foremost, your data stays your data. Microsoft does not use your content to train OpenAI's models, and nothing Copilot generates is shared with anyone outside your organization. Everything operates within the same security and compliance framework that businesses have built and that businesses already rely on within Microsoft 365. From a security perspective, Copilot will respect existing permissions and access controls. That means it only pulls information you already have access to. It won't expose confidential data to the wrong people, and it won't create new security risks. If you wouldn't normally see a document, for example, you don't have access to the folder, or there's an email you normally wouldn't see, Copilot won't surface that. It will follow your existing rules. So at the end of the day, AI, Copilot, all these products in the market, they're only valuable if they can be trusted. Microsoft has designed Copilot with security compliance as its top priority, so you can use these tools without worrying about data exposure or privacy risk. All right, let's get into the fun stuff. One of the standout features of Copilot, and a favorite within our organization, and my favorite, it's the ability to make meetings more manageable. If you have a packed schedule, you find it hard to keep up with everything, Copilot will be a massive help here. So, imagine one of your more difficult weeks where someone has found a way to book all your time, and you have multiple meetings a day. Sometimes you show up late. Meetings can move very, very quickly, and keeping track of everything that's said in that meeting, the key decisions, the next steps, it can be very, very difficult. So Copilot in Teams makes meetings way more effective and easier for you to catch up because it will summarize the discussion for you. It will highlight the key points in that discussion, and the best part, it will organize follow-up actions. So think about taking notes on your own and you're trying to keep track of key takeaways. If you have multiple meetings that day, or there's just a lot of people in that meeting, that is exceptionally difficult to do it well. Copilot makes that way easier for you, and it's a huge bonus. So with Copilot, if you show up late to a meeting, you can instantly catch up on what you've missed. It will generate a list of pros and cons for a topic. It will give you a summary of the decisions that were made. It will give you suggested next steps. So instead of manually taking notes or having to sit down and watch the full recording, for example, Copilot's going to surface what matters, and it's going to do it in real time while you're on the call, and it will do it afterwards. And it just makes meetings far more productive and actionable. Staying engaged in meetings while capturing critical details it can be a challenge. And the great thing about Copilot is it provides live meeting summaries. These live meeting summaries help participants stay informed without getting lost and taking notes. Live meeting summaries will summarize the discussion. It will highlight key discussion points and even identify areas of agreement and disagreement. And the best part here is the chat pane. So imagine a scenario where you're late to the meeting. There was a topic that was extremely important to you. You wanted to make sure the team covered it, that the group covered it. You wanted to know if there's any actions on that particular topic. You can ask Copilot, did we talk about this? What were the notes from it? And were there any decisions made around that particular topic? And if you see that it was covered well, wonderful. You've now saved yourself time from referencing notes or having to interrupt the flow of the meeting. If it wasn't covered in a way that made you comfortable, well, now you know it's time to speak up, and now you know it's time to cover with the team and the group and talk about those things that you're worried about and your concerns, and just make sure the topic is handled in the right way. So this is a huge advantage. A lot of us are inundated with meetings. It's very challenging to stay up to date. So Copilot in Teams is just a huge advantage. So let's dive into this a bit more. And at first glance, this slide might look a little bit busy, but that's because Copilot is doing a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes. What you're seeing here is the power of intelligent meeting recaps. Copilot organizes all the essential details from a meeting into a clear, structured format, so you don't have to dig through notes and you don't have to sit around and watch the full recording of the meeting afterwards. So on the left, you can see how Copilot is capturing everything in a standard automated format, ensures that every meeting has consistent documentation. This includes speaker attributes, structured notes, video markers. So if you need to revisit a specific discussion, you're going to be able to jump to that right place instantly. On the right side, Copilot works on demand, and it means you can ask it specific questions, right? So that goes back to my example of, hey, I'm late to a meeting and I want to find out what they talked about. You can even do a quick table of pros and cons. That's the example here for a decision that was discussed. It can generate that in seconds. Trying to remember what action items were assigned? Well, you can just ask, and Copilot will surface the key takeaways in the discussion. So what's great about this feature is that it works both during the meeting and it works after the meeting. So if you're in the meeting and you want to confirm what's been discussed so far, you got a live recap whenever you want to see it. All the notes, all the insights, they're waiting for you. There's no scrambling through recordings. There's no asking colleagues for a rundown. And for teams that have a lot of meetings, and I don't know if I know anyone in IT that does not have a lot of meetings, this is a game changer. It saves you so much time. It ensures that conversations don't just disappear once a meeting ends. Everything is structured, it's all searchable, and it's easy to act on. It's one of the most powerful ways that Copilot helps teams work. You know, that cliche, work smarter, ensuring that every discussion leads to real outcomes. All right, so after Teams, what's the other app that we spend most of our time in? Well, it's Outlook, right? These days for me, it's mostly Teams, but I'm still, probably like the rest of you, Outlook comes in at a pretty close second. So since we spend so much of our time there, keeping up with email threads, drafting responses, and trying to make sure nothing falls through the cracks, we could use some help, right? So Copilot in Outlook is designed to streamline your inbox management. It can do something similar to Teams where it summarizes conversations, and it can help you craft responses more efficiently. So with Copilot, long email threads, well, they become way less of a headache because instead of reading through dozens of replies, it can provide a concise summary. And next to that summary, it can highlight key action items, and it can even suggest responses for you. Those responses will be based on the context of the conversation. So if you need to reply, but you want to make sure your tone matches your style, you can even write Copilot, make sure it sounds like me, and refine the messages to align to your voice. So I know for some folks, maybe that sounds a little bit odd. How I use Copilot is, especially if it's a long email chain, there's a lot of threads, it's very complicated. If I need to write a long response, I often find myself rewriting that response multiple times, right? And sometimes I'll lose the thread, right? Especially if it's multiple paragraphs in, and I've revised it multiple times. I will ask Copilot, hey, does this still read coherently? Because I get tired, right? I get a little bit worn out on the topic, and it comes at it with a fresh set of eyes and says, hey, actually you changed your mind here, and this part you didn't revise. So it becomes like having a buddy read that email and basically say, hey, this could make more sense. How about this, right? This was very, very complicated. Maybe keep it more concise. It just becomes just a valued partner in helping you work through those things. So think of it less as Copilot writing your emails for you and more of it helping you write the best emails that you can. That's how I think of it. So Copilot also integrates directly into Teams meetings inside of Outlook. So if a conversation leads to a call you need to schedule, you can follow along with a meeting recap directly from Outlook. You can ensure you don't miss important updates. And for anyone juggling high volumes of email, you can help prioritize what matters most. And it really helps you eliminate busy work. And it really keeps communication flowing, and it cuts down on the friction that you're dealing with. So again, managing email is more than just keeping up with your messages. It's about responding efficiently, maintaining the right tone, ensuring that you're very clear in your communication. Copilot and Outlook goes beyond summarizing the emails. Again, it helps you draft messages. It helps you refine existing ones. It will suggest improvements. If you need to write a new email, Copilot can generate a draft based on the key points that you provide. So think about a meeting summary from Teams or even action items on that, and you want to write a more in-depth email around those. Well, you can copy that into Copilot and it can generate an email for you. It will pull relevant information from the current thread, and it can adjust the tone and length and ensure that the message fits the content. For revising an existing email, it does provide coaching suggestions. It helps you fine-tune sentiment, clarity, helps you fine-tune professionalism. Whether the message needs to be more positive, more concise, better structured, it offers real-time refinements. And on top of each email, you're going to see a summary by Copilot, which condenses the long email threads into key takeaways and action items, and it will make it easy to stay informed without reading through every single reply. So it combines drafting, coaching, summarization. It makes your life in Outlook so much easier, helps you communicate more effectively, and it will reduce the time you spend managing your email, which sounds nice, doesn't it? All right, so we've covered how Copilot can enhance team meetings, how it can enhance Outlook email management, and now I want to talk to you about what's actually required to enable these capabilities in your organization. And I want to give you a quick heads up here. This is how Microsoft is selling these things today. If you're familiar with Microsoft 365 or really any of their cloud products, they make changes fairly often, which is, and we'll get to this in the next slide, which is why it's nice to have a CSP that is an expert like we are in TierPoint. Sorry for a little plug there. Have a CSP that is an expert in these products and keeps up with all the product changes to make sure that you get what you need for your organization. Make sure you get the things that fit. So here's how you purchase these things today. To get an AI-powered meeting summary, to get intelligent recaps, real-time insights in Teams, you'll need to purchase Teams Premium. This enhances Teams with built-in AI, streamlines meetings, all the things we talked about before, improves collaboration. And if your goal is to make meetings more productive and actionable and less painful, and that applies to pretty much everyone, right? Then Teams Premium is the right choice. If you want Copilot's AI assistance beyond Teams, you want help with email summaries, drafting responses, and support for other 365 apps like Word and Excel. And we didn't get into Word and Excel, we didn't get into PowerPoint. The Copilot plugins there are also huge time savers and pretty amazing. So to get that integration into what you think of the traditional Office suite, you'll need to get Microsoft 365 Copilot. And this will bring AI-powered productivity tools across your workflow, ensure efficiency in content creation and communication. So just to summarize, key takeaway, Teams Premium provides AI-powered meeting features inside of Teams. Microsoft 365 Copilot extends AI capabilities into Outlook, Word, Excel, and more. You need to get both licenses to get the full AI-powered experience across Teams and Outlook. So for organizations looking to fully leverage what we've covered today, again, Teams Premium, 365 Copilot, that is the best way to make your life easier with Copilot. Hey, just a couple more slides and then we're getting to the end of the presentation. So choosing the right Microsoft 365 and cloud services provider, hopefully you can notice that through this presentation, it isn't just about licensing, it's about getting the most value out of your investment. TierPoint is a certified CSP. CSP stands for Cloud Solution Provider. That means we're certified by Microsoft to sell and support these products. We've been doing it for years. We go beyond simply selling these services to you. We provide expert guidance, we provide strategic support, and we optimize your spend to ensure that your organization is leveraging these products and subscriptions as effectively as you can. And really what sets TierPoint apart, if you're looking at the slide here, we have personalized support. That means our dedicated experts provide proactive assistance. We have end user support. We have hands-on guidance to help you succeed. We also have value-added services. We have an extremely robust professional services team which can assist with migrations. We have security assessments. We are a hybrid cloud provider, meaning we are a public cloud provider, but we also have over 40 data centers around the country to help you move your workloads back and forth. We have a ton of backup solutions, and we really help your business build a resilient, secure, and scalable IT environment. We offer cost management. We help you optimize your licensing. You really want to maximize your return on investment when you start purchasing these things, especially Copilot, especially things like Power BI, or you think about Data Fabric or those elements. You want help in making sure you use those things correctly. We offer operational efficiency. We take care of a lot of the things that aren't value adds to your business. So we do that through automation, best practices, IT management strategies. We ensure your Microsoft Cloud environment runs smoothly, securely, and as optimally as possible. So we view ourselves as much more than a provider. We view ourselves as your partner. We act as an extension of your team. We offer roadmap planning, proactive advisory services. So with TierPoint, you're not just purchasing Microsoft 365, you're purchasing someone that is a trusted partner to help you navigate the complexities of cloud, the complexities of modern IT infrastructure, and AI workloads. All right, well, that's the end of the presentation. Very much appreciate everybody joining today. Hopefully you got something out of this and you see the value of Copilot, you see the value of a CSP, a partner like TierPoint, and please reach out to us with any questions you might have. And again, thank you for your time.